Hi everyone, it's Kay from Kay's Creative Home. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to show you how I make an Easter egg wreath using this Dollar Tree pumpkin frame. What do you think about that? Let's get started. Well everyone, welcome back. If you haven't been here on my channel before, I welcome you with open arms. Today I'd like to share with you how I make an Easter egg wreath using this Dollar Tree pumpkin frame. Now, sad to say, I've lost some footage because I started by taking the stem of the pumpkin, cutting that off, and taking that wire, stretching it out straight, and then laying it on the right side of the pumpkin. And that way I got an even side on the right here. You see I've got some 26 gauge wire that I just used to hold it in place, a little bit of glue, and the 26 gauge wire. And in the end, I didn't even need to do that. So if you just cut off the pumpkin stem, it will work. You don't need to actually attach it here on the right. So that's the first step. And the reason I didn't need to do it is because you'll see after I add the mesh on, it covers the side. So it doesn't have to be that even. Now I've gathered some different colors of 10-inch mesh and cut them into 20-inch strips. And what I'm doing is just tucking under one end and then going to the other side, tucking that in under, and you can see the curl of the meshes down. And then I'm just going to scrunch it down the center and gather this mesh to make my little gathered pleated design here to add to the frame. And so what I'm going to do on each rung is start to add my Deco Mesh using a zip tie. So I laid it so that the length of the Deco Mesh, the 10-inch length, went along the length of the wire. So I think next time I'm going to try it going the other way just to see if it makes a difference in the fullness. But this time it worked out pretty good. So I'm going to just add in an entire row here of yellow Deco Mesh, and using my zip ties, I'm going to fill it in so that it's nice and full and so that you can't see through the frame. Because this wire on this frame has wide gaps, you can see how you could easily see through the mesh if you don't use enough. So pack it on in there. By the time I finish this wreath, I think I've used I used one roll of each color of the mesh that I have, except for pink. I only used 3 pieces of pink because I happen to have an odd roll with just a little bit left on it. So I chose that to be the one I put at the top of my Easter egg, and I'll explain why later. So, like I said, I'm going to just continue to go forth and gather this Deco Mesh on each rung of the pumpkin form until we get all the way to the bottom. I chose different colors because I just love that design that it's the old-fashioned type Easter egg where you had the bright colors. They were very vibrant and they had multiple colors. I know now a lot of things are neutral, but I still like that traditional design. So for this first one, I want it to be obvious that it's an Easter egg. So I decided to pick out something traditional that everyone would recognize. So now that I've finished the first yellow row, I'm just going to go back and clip off the ends of all of my zip ties, and then we'll be ready to move on to the next row. So the next color I chose was this deep purple. It is such a beautiful purple, and I knew it would really contrast against that bright yellow. So it have some impact and some punch. And I'm going to fill in this row, and then we're going to move on to the next color. After purple, I put in a green. It's a really bright green. Again, all of these were really bright, vibrant colors. And now I'm working on a row of blue. And then after that, I did another row of yellow and then purple again. I just started the pattern over again. I'm not going to get all the way to the green and blue again, but I just started the first pattern over again. The last color I'm adding in is this hot pink, and I'm only using 3 pieces of the pink at the very top, and that is so my egg will have a pointed top illusion, because we know it's this form is perfectly oval, but you'll see when I stand it up that the top has the illusion of being coming to a point because the pink is very centered at the top. So the next step is to make a wonderful bow. I have been searching for the spring ribbon at Sam's, and I finally found it. I just kept going back hoping that my store would get it, and we finally did. So I grabbed a whole bunch of it for the spring, especially since I'm just starting to do wreaths. I need every color, so every design. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to get quite a bit of ribbon for a reasonable price. So I started by making a 4-loop bow using my yellow ribbon, and then I'm going to repeat this with the other colored ribbons that I chose for my bow. If you're interested in learning how to make a bow, please check out my How to Make a Bow series. The link is provided in the description box below. I covered the 4-loop bow plus many other bows using various types of materials and various types of ribbon, so that you can see how different bows would look using different types of ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead through this real quick and get the bow together, and then we'll be ready to add it to the wreath. Now, if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others. And if you'd like to become a family member, just hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and you'll be notified when I release new videos. I still have one more Easter wreath I would like to share with you. And that's coming up within the next week. And then we're going to move on into some more spring wreaths and some other ideas I have. So I hope you're enjoying this video, and if you've never seen anyone use a pumpkin wreath form to make an Easter egg wreath, leave me a comment and let me know. Or if you've seen it before, let me know. Every time I think I have a new idea, I find out that someone has already done it. So if you know of someone who's done it, let me know. Or you can say, leave me a comment saying, no, I've never seen that done before. I like to know that I came up with something original. There's so many beautiful, wonderful wreaths out here. So it may be a while before I actually come up with something new. So my next step, of course, is to take a zip tie and wrap it around the center of this bow. I'm going to just get it started, and then I'm going to lift the bow off of the bow maker and slide that zip tie toward the center. I almost lost my bow here as I was pulling it off. The bottom almost got away from me. But I pulled the zip tie toward the center, easing it over, and then pulled it tight. And then I'm just going to slide I call it a tinsel stem or my pipe cleaner, through the zip tie in the back. And that's what I'm going to use to attach my bow onto my wreath. The next thing is just to um, tighten up the zip tie a little bit more, and then begin to shape my bow. And once I get it all shaped, then I'll tighten up the zip tie as tight as I can get it. So I'm going to take my bow and add it to the front and center of the wreath, right at about the top of that yellow mesh. Yeah, right in there somewhere. I'm going to take my little pipe cleaner and work my way through there to the reform, find that wire of the form, and attach my bow. And then once I get it, tighten on there, then I'm going to center the bow, and then I'll fluff it and reshape it again. Now I chose to make the tails on my bow 24 inches long, and that is so that I could curl them up. I thought it would be really cute to have the tails curled up and kind of spiraling down the front of this Easter egg. And it'd be a way of adding some embellishment, different colors, different textures, without totally blocking the mesh that's underneath, because I think that mesh is so pretty, especially since it's so many different vibrant colors. So I'm just going to finish twirling these, and then we're going to add a few more things to the wreath. So I wanted to add a little bit more embellishment to the wreath. So the first thing I tried were these pink and white Easter lilies. I wasn't too happy with that, so I went on to these Easter eggs that I found in my stash, and I like them a lot better. So I'm going to distribute some Easter eggs throughout the egg wreath, and it will kind of help you, I guess, hone your attention on the fact that this is an Easter egg. So you'll see that with the overall shape of the wreath, and then because the eggs are added in, it'll kind of hone your attention to the fact that it's an egg. So here's my Easter egg wreath. I hope you enjoyed making this with me, and I hope you'll give that pumpkin wreath form a try. Maybe if you don't have any left over, you can try it again next spring. All right, I thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll be talking with you again real soon.